Okay, so this is the beginnings of my keto raspberry cheesecake recipe. I got this recipe from YouTube. I forget which channel. This is the recipe for the crust. It is almond flour, powdered sweetener, melted unsalted butter, and vanilla. And you're actually supposed to do this, these are the amounts. You're actually supposed to do this in a 9-inch springform pan, and I, for some reason, can't find mine. I know we have one because Carrie used to make cheesecakes a lot when we lived in Valley. This is an 8-inch heart-shaped pan, so I've sprayed it and lined it with parchment paper. But that is the crust. We're going to bake for 10 minutes at 350, and then put the filling on. So it calls for, the filling calls for 4 8-ounce cream cheese. That's a lot of cream cheese. I only had 3. So this is actually not the whole recipe. I 2/3'ed the recipe, if that makes sense. That was kind of hard to do. Well, not really, just half and then half again. But anyway, now we're going to put this in the oven for 10 minutes until it gets brown and crunchy on the edges, and make the filling. Okay, so now I'm going to put together the filling. I could eat that whole plate, just that. 3 packs of cream cheese. Like I said, it's normally 4. That's a lot of cream cheese, but I only had 3, so I'm 2/30 the recipe. Okay, so for the filling, it's 3. Well, it's your cream cheese. Beat your cream cheese with your sweetener. Beat it till creamy and smooth, and then add in your eggs one at a time, beating each egg for 1 minute. And then we're going to add lemon juice. And yes, I did cheat and use this kind of lemon juice. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of lemon zest. And y'all know how old I am. This is the first time I've ever zested a lemon. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if I'm doing it right. But that's what I'm doing. I had to Google it. And I'm going to put that in and then pour this into the crust. Okay, so that little thing right here is not even something I would do. Most all of it sticks to the back, and then a little bit came off the front. So that's like that. So I got out this and just did this. And I'm going to put this in and maybe do an extra squirt of lemon juice. I don't know, but we'll see how that turns out. Okay, look at my crust. I think it looks pretty good. It's cooled, and I don't know. It looks like it might be pretty good, so I'm going to pour this into here and then do the raspberries. But before that, okay, so I poured it over the crust, and I actually had probably like half a cup or a little more left. I just didn't want to go too high because I have no idea how this is going to be when it cooks. Since it was supposed to be in a springform pan, I have no clue. So anyway, now I'm going to do the raspberries and put them on top, since this is a raspberry keto cheesecake. And always remember, don't lick the beaters because there's raw egg in there. Said my mama and my granny, never not. I'm definitely going to lick the beaters. And then I'm going to do the raspberries. Okay, so the next thing is you're supposed to set aside some raspberries for garnish. Puree the raspberries. I didn't have a food processor, so I had to do it in the blender, which is quite messy, and then digging it out. Now you're supposed to take the puree and put it through a metal sieve to get out the seeds. But you know what? I don't have one. I think I gave it away last spring to Goodwill. And the seeds don't bother me. Looks like ketchup or cocktail sauce. But now we're going to take this, put little dollops in here, swirl it around, and then bake it. But that actually looks like a lot. I probably should have put more in, but Carrie will like to eat those on top, so that's okay. Okay, so you're supposed to take a toothpick, which of course I didn't have any. He takes all my toothpicks for the wood projects and swirl it through and make like little hearts. But I think I put too thick of globs, and right there is a glob. It looks almost like a glob of cream cheese that didn't get blended, which is crazy because I mixed that to death. But you know what? That looks like a heart. That looks like a heart. I'm going to go with that. And then we'll have that for, I guess, on the top if we want. So, yeah, this isn't as pretty as some people's. And I was going to dig that out, but I said, forget it. So now we're going to bake it. Let's see. And that was 6 ounces of raspberries. We're going to bake it for an hour and 15 minutes at 325. And then we'll see how it looks and tastes tomorrow. And P.S., a little side note here. Since I'm showing y'all this, I am totally going to be honest. When I was reading that, I was like, damn, I forgot the sweetener. Okay, so I was supposed to put sweetener in with the raspberries. In with the pureed raspberries, and then dollop it on the cake and swirl it around. But what I was thinking, I'm not, I already did it, so I might just add some sweetener to this, and then we can garnish with that on top if we need it, because it might not be sweet enough. But then again, it might. I don't know. Raspberries are kind of tart. Anyway, we'll see how it looks. Okay, it's out of the oven, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good, but I did mess up again. Since I didn't use a springform pan, I usually put parchment paper hanging out so I can pull it out of the pan once it's cooled. So it won't be as pretty. I might have to cut it in the pan, but it's okay. Hopefully it'll taste good. Okay, so I didn't have the 9-inch pan, so I had to use this heart-shaped pan, which I managed to let it cool and flip it, and then part of the bottom broke. I think the crust is going to be really crumbly. I just don't know really how to cut it. But we're going to try it. Okay, so it was weird. I don't know how to cut it. So definitely do a 9-inch springform pan. If you have it, then you can cut it normally. I just had to cut little sections, but that looks pretty good. Topped it with some sauce and raspberries. And we'll see how it tastes.